Welcome, everybody, to Housebroken and Heartbroken podcast. I am Spiro. I'm the host. If you do not follow me already, please do at Spiro on that show. Drop a subscribe on the YouTube channel. Leave me some comments if you guys are enjoying what I'm doing, or if you want to see some topics for me to riff on. I'm more than happy to do that. If you guys want to see me live before the end of the year, I will be at the Oyo on Saturday, December 28th at the Oyo. It's the Hilarious 7 show. There are 7 of us doing 10 minutes each. It's a lot of fun. I have a guest list, so pop on that. I've had an interesting week so far. It's been a weird week. My week started off getting back from Denver and Austin, and I had a mouse in my car. Because apparently if you stay idle too long, mice can get in your car because they like the warmth of the engine. I don't know. I Googled it. Apparently this is a normal thing. My car was clean, and I came in and it looked like it got messy all of a sudden. I was like, what the fuck happened? And sure enough, there was a mouse in the car. Not too much damage. Insurance covers it, which is good. But you might not be able to see it, but I had a pretty good gash on my forehead. I got seriously injured trying to get rid of this mouse. What happened was I had to go to the store. I didn't have to go to the store. I ended up going to the store to get all this like mouse repellent stuff to try to get it out. And I had to go to the car repair shop anyway because I had to get like something cleaned or whatever. So I'm assuming all of this is going to get this mouse out. Doesn't get the mouse out. Because I look down in my car windshield about 2 hours later and I see it sprint across the dash. And then I ran downstairs, try to open the door to like see if I could just shoot it out with my hockey stick real quick. And I whipped open the door and I smacked myself in the forehead. And I looked like a fucking psycho. I was bleeding down my face. I had all my doors open. I was running around with a hockey stick chasing a mouse. People probably thought I was having like a full breakdown. All 40 people that watch my podcast were like, yep, this is it. This is the mental breakdown we were waiting for. Him running around with blood on his face, chasing a mouse with a hockey stick in a neighborhood. That's something we weren't expecting to see today. So my week's been kind of off to a weird start, but it's been fun. We saw the Nutcracker last night, which was fantastic. And a lot of people are judgy about weed. You know, like Liz and I, we smoked a good joint before we went to the Nutcracker. Because why the hell not? Why the hell not? We're having a good night out. We're relaxing. We want to really enjoy the visual spectacle, the music. Let's enhance the experience a little bit. And like listening to people talk about weed is funny to me. It's funny to me because I was never a weed smoker. I was never a weed person. I got involved because Sarah, during chemo in the last year of her life, went through a lot of pain. And she didn't want to do gummies alone. And I was like, I'll do gummies with you. And to be honest with you, it really kind of changed my life because the depression I was going through and the spiral I was going through really kind of, I didn't know how to get out of it. I didn't know how to put myself in a good mindset. And when I tell you that chills my mind out, it chills my mind out, and it has me able to enjoy things, you know, like the grief that I've experienced, the trauma that I've experienced through losing Sarah and my father. They usually come in the quiet moments, like when you're sitting and watching a show or watching a movie or watching anything. Whenever it's like I'm not actively busy is when my mind goes fucking crazy. And weed is like a good way to just be like, hey, we're having a good time. We're watching this. You're good. You don't need to think about this stuff. You can enjoy things. And I think there's a lot of just misunderstanding in general. When people don't understand how people cope, they judge. Or if they don't understand, or if it's something that they don't like, they immediately assume it's negative. And I'm not just talking about, I'm talking about anything. You know, there's reasons why there's wars. There's reasons why there's political, turbulence. This isn't new. The world isn't new. If we got along and we agreed on everything, we'd be the Lego movie. We'd be boring. But the negativity against other people, I think that's also what causes this society to be so just tense, is I feel like nobody feels like they can have their own opinion or do something that's outside of what other people expect from them. And to that I say, fuck that. Do what you want to do. As long as you're not putting other people in danger or putting yourself in danger, do what you want to do. Live your life, because life's too short, man. That's one thing that this grief and this trauma has taught me is whatever makes you feel better in this world, whatever makes you the best version of you, fucking do it. Do it. Who cares what other people say? You like to do yoga, like me, do yoga. You like to dance in the street, dance in the street. If you like to shoot off, fireworks in the desert and watch the pretty colors in the sky, God bless you. If you like going to Del Taco and eating churro cheesecake bites, I hope you buy some for me because they're fucking delicious. Be happy. Be you. Be happy that you're you. I feel like COVID really kind of put us in this place where we have to feel performative. We have to feel like we get along in the same general scope as everybody. We all have to kind of be in the same agreements. We can't disagree on things, or we can't have different opinion on things, or we can't like other things, You might not like weed. I like weed. You might like Coke. I don't like Coke. Never tried it. Never planning on trying it. But you see what I'm getting at. I'm not going to stop you. I'm not going to judge you. Do I think it's safe? No. Have I lost friends from it? Yes. But that's you. Right? If you want to dress like a 6-foot tall Energizer bunny rabbit and run down the street, you can do that. If it makes you happy. And as long as you're not disrupting traffic, because then it will make me unhappy and then you won't be allowed to do that anymore. Don't disrupt traffic. I don't have road rage, but I don't like when shit doesn't make sense. Have some reason behind it. Like if you're in a parking garage, there's a flow to how you get out, right? One person goes, the next person goes, one person goes, next person goes. There's always some asshole that tries to hurry up and get in front, and then it causes everybody else to get anxious, and then everybody else is tense, and then everybody else is trying to get through, and then nobody fucking moves, and the traffic's worse. Just like on the airplanes. As soon as that bing, when it's done landing, everybody jumps up and opens their suitcases and then tries to run to the front, and the gate hasn't even opened yet. And now it's just a log jam of nonsense. People are standing up and they got their head, crooked on the thing because it's not that tall and they're trying to be like that. You have some people like me that just sit and wait for it's my turn, and you get everybody else antsy in the aisle being like, why aren't you getting up? Why aren't you fucking getting up? Because it's not time to get up. What I'm saying is we don't have to beat by the drum of everybody else. We can beat up by our own drum because we're fucking dope. Let's talk customer service, because I feel like the world and customer service has just gone straight down the tubes. Everywhere you go, it feels like it's just like a no or like a yeah, but. I feel like customer service used to be like this thing where I never agreed with the customer's always right. But at a point, you got to kind of look into it and be like, hey, they're the ones supporting our business. We need to make this. They're spending money, especially now everything's so fucking expensive. Everything's so pricey. We all know about the economy. Everyone talks about it. Obviously, it was a big topic during the election, but we're spending decent money at these places, and it almost feels like we should just be grateful that they're around, if that makes sense. I got tickets for the Nutcracker, and I tried to cancel it immediately because I got the wrong tickets. I bought it, realized it, as soon as I got the confirmation, try to cancel it. The hoops I had to go through to cancel this is insane. And everyone literally is like, you can't cancel it. You can't cancel it. You can't cancel it. It's like, no, I can't cancel it. And then when you ask for a supervisor or a manager, they go, they're just going to tell you the same thing. Which is that might be, but send them through. Send them through. I argue for fun. I like me to argue. It's interesting. And it's become a thing in Vegas where I feel like Vegas used to be now. That's what Vegas was for, really. It was supposed to be you would come here, you would experience exceptional service, you would have a remarkable time. And now I feel like you go here and you're just like at Disney, like it's just like you're here, spend your money, and that's it. Like there's nothing else here for you. We're not about the experience anymore. We're about you coming here because you want to go on vacation. And I don't know, like there's something wrong with that. I feel like this world, we're in such like a negative little bubble right now. Like everything is so negative. And something where you just go to a restaurant and get good service, that's something so small that makes the experience and makes your night out so happy. Like Liz and I, we went to dinner at this Greek place called Elia. It was a favorite of my dad's. We went there. And when I tell you the service was excellent, I was almost blown away by how good it was. And I'm not saying I want someone to just dote on me the entire time. I don't want someone every 2 seconds asking me if I need anything, how is everything, what can we do better. I don't need any of that. But what I do need is just timely acknowledgement. There's something about timely acknowledgement, even with relationships, There's timely flowers. Buy your lady some timely flowers. Helps the relationship, builds it, it grows it, right? If you just get flowers when it's expected, cool, you did your job, I guess. But when you just know that there's nuance to it, okay, these people have been sitting here for 5 minutes. Let me see if they want anything to drink. Let me see if they have any questions on the menu. Let me see if I can assist them. Don't just wait for 10 minutes until you see other, the people at the table visibly frustrated or looking around, when you're doing the little prairie dog look around, is the waiter coming? What's going on? Those little things are the things that matter in service. I mean, I worked in the casino and hospitality industry for a long time, hotel industry. And before COVID, there's always going to be issues with service. I'm not saying that we're going to be in a perfect world with this. I'm not expecting a perfect world with this. But I feel like everywhere has just declined. Before COVID, it felt like it was almost like a bad apple if you ran into someone that was customer service. And it would be handled. Now, post-COVID, bro, if these people could spit in your face, they'd probably just spit in your face. It's brutal. But it really makes you appreciate when you do get good service. And why is that? Why is service so bad now? Is it lack of training? Is it lack of care? Is it lack of pay? I mean, I did service training for the last place I worked. And a lot of it was just, I don't want to say lack of caring, but there comes to be a point where you could only throw so much money at people. You could only throw so many incentives at people. You can only motivate people financially so much. Eventually, if someone's working 40 hours a week somewhere or 32 hours or a good amount of their work week, I think they want to at least feel like they're excited to go to work. Even if it's not the most exciting job, even if it's something that someone doesn't want to do for the rest of their life, or it's grunt work, whatever you want to call it. The environment of these places, sometimes I feel like just really push through to the experience of the customer. You can really tell a lot about a company by how the service is. And again, there's always bad eggs. There's always going to be people that just don't want to work. They don't want to be friendly. They just are trying to get through it. I understand those. But when you see at a level everywhere in a business that there's just no desire to help or to assist or to make the experience just that, a great experience. I think people forget that when you go out and you go to dinner and you go on vacation, you go see a show and you purchase something online, it's all about an experience. It's a customer experience. So if I buy tickets for the Nutcracker and need to change my seats literally 2 minutes after I purchase the tickets, don't tell me oh, we can't put these tickets back out there. We're not going to be able to sell them. It's bitch, I just bought these tickets. You can't do that. And then I'm let me talk to a supervisor. They're well, we'll tell our supervisor and they'll call you back later today. And I'm so at 5:00, when it's like an hour before the show is when the supervisor will call me back and tell me, no, you can't do it. And I had this guy, nice guy. I feel bad for some of the customer service reps because some of them are just restricted by bad management. They want to help, they want to try to do things, but they've just been ingrained in their brain by terrible management not to help or to blockade or to just hope that the problem goes away. Resistance will make the problem go away. I feel like that's really the dynamic of customer service now. Resistance will make them go away. And I think as a society as a whole, that's what makes us upset. I think that's where you see this just misery and everyone's feeling the economic hardships. But like when you go places and you spend money and you spend more than you intend to spend and you get treated just like a ant in your home, like just not wanted, like an unwanted guest. I think it does more than just getting bad Yelp reviews or having someone complain or want to talk to the manager. I think it really puts society in a pretty weird place. Because we're like, if I can't go to this restaurant and see a show and have a good time, what the fuck else can I do to have a good time? What else can I do to experience a good time in this world? This Luigi guy is an interesting thing. The guy who assassinated the healthcare CEO. People are obsessed with him. All the women are like, he's so good looking. He could shoot me in the face any day he wants. And it's crazy because a lot of things are coming out about this guy and there's still a lot of mystery around it. But one of the things I saw recently on TMZ was his list of self-help books that he was planning on reading. And one of them was a book that I just finished reading a couple months ago and really kind of put a lot of things in perspective for me in a positive way. And when I brought this up, someone was like, oh my God, like, good thing you read that book. So what does that mean? Good thing I read that book. Like, were you concerned? Were you concerned that I was going to be a vigilante against the healthcare system? I mean, obviously Sarah had her health issues, but I don't know if the healthcare system was the major issue. It might be. Maybe it is. Maybe. And I don't know. It's wild though. Like, it's crazy that it's the same exact book that I just read. It's wild. Self-help books, man, they help you. That guy just read this book. We might not even know who he is. All you women fantasizing about him doing whatever he does to you because he's a good-looking dude that did something terrible to what you guys perceive as a terrible human. You're like, yeah, he can do all that good stuff to me. I don't know, man. It's wild. It's wild that we read this all. I mean, is it wild though? How many self-help books are there? I'm sure there are a lot. That's a question that's probably not even meant to be asked. Like, how many self-help books are there? There's probably a bunch. But the fact that he was planning on reading this and he didn't makes me wonder, what if you read this, bro? What would you be doing right now? Maybe you'd be having a podcast. We're a small channel. I don't know who's listening to this. I hope everyone's enjoying this. I'm enjoying doing it. We're learning as we go. Maybe that's all Luigi needed. Maybe he just needed an outlet to talk into a microphone. Self-help books. I guess that's the thing. Self-help books are saviors. Okay, if you're going through a bad time and you're debating on reading a self-help book, read the self-help book, or else you could be like this Luigi guy, right? You could be like him instead of like me, functional, in my own space, talking about my opinions. Yeah, he's famous now. Yeah, he's probably got a bunch of followers from this, but this guy going to Guantanamo, they labeled him as a terrorist. They throwing him straight to Guantanamo Bay. We're never going to see this dude again. I hope you guys enjoy watching this guy walk and how good looking he is, because we're never going to see him again. He'll just disappear and it'll just be some weird conspiracy theory that pops up from time to time. Yeah, steel beams, Luigi. Where are they? Steel beams. And Luigi, this is insane. I can't trust anything this government does. I do like all the memes that have been coming. The meme culture, I think that's my favorite part about our society now. Meme culture. Everybody loves it. I mean, you go on Instagram, you go on TikTok, all you see is memes about no matter what happens in the world. It could be this war going on, it could be this assassination, it could be anything. There will be the funniest memes. And it makes me think, like, what are history books going to look like? What are history books going to look like in 15 years, 20 years, 30 years? Are they even going to be books? Are they just going to be iPads with memes teaching everybody things? You know, you have some historical text and then it's like a meme to kind of say everything going on. Because I remember my history book, it was like a bunch of like words and then almost like clip arty pictures or like pictures taken of paintings that are in museums other places. Because if you really think about it, that's what memes are. They're just our generation's documentation of social events and current events and pop culture, right? Like back then, like they had people that would stand on the corners, the newsies, and give the news, right? Share the news. They'd have newspapers. They'd have journal entries. I don't know. They would have people riding from horses, spreading stories. I don't know how it worked in the past. Our kids, our grandchildren, they're going to be learning from memes. Isn't that insane? Isn't that a crazy thing to think about? That one day, there's going to be no history books. And I'm not going to lie, the history books, they're a waste. I mean, Sarah was a teacher, and I saw her history books, and they only went up to when Bill Clinton was president. I mean, she passed away in 2021. So she was teaching out of books where they were almost 30 years past where the last lesson they taught is. And I'm not going to lie, when I was in high school, I graduated in 2005, I don't think I learned anything past 1991 as well. It was like the USSR fell, the Berlin Wall fell or whatever. I don't know history. If you guys want to fact check me, that's cool. But it feels like all these things happened and then they were like, history's over. No history book. You know, I thought I was going to open up the book because I went to Sarah's class once and these kids didn't know what Columbine was. They didn't really understand 9/11 and what it was like before 9/11, which is understandable. A lot of them weren't born then, which is sad to think about. Every now and then I get these soft reminders about how old I am, and it's like devastating because I don't feel like I'm almost 38. Like this, I found my high school water bottle because I lost my other one, and I filled it up, and it said, class of 2025, class of 2005. And now it's about to be 2025, and I realize I'm having a 20-year reunion coming up. Scary. But a lot of these kids aren't going to learn about Luigi. And if they do, and if they know about him, it's going to be through memes. But again, why would this be in the history book? World War III, when it eventually happens, we all know it's coming down the pipeline. I don't think anyone's going to be surprised when World War III eventually... It's fucking chaotic over there on the other side of the world. We got drones in New Jersey. Right? Drones were cool back in 2017. Remember, everybody had a drone? Now everyone has a drone in New Jersey and they're fucking terrified. And that has been it for the Heartbroken and Housebroken podcast. Again, if you are not following me, please do at Spiro and That Show. Come check me out at the Oyo on December 28th. And then we do have a new Smoke and Fire on January 22nd. Those two shows, I have unlimited guest lists, so please hit me up if you want to come out. But until then, guys, I hope you have a wonderful Christmas holiday, and I will see you guys next week. Thanks for watching.